I am so grateful, honestly, to have a husband of 45 years who is so good at building and putting stuff together. Thank you.
Well, hey everybody, I'm Bill.
And I'm Elizabeth. Live simple,
live free.
And we are going to start showing you Bill putting together the bunk beds that we have. They're going to be in this corner of this room. This is my office, and we're putting in bunk beds. I got ones that are rated for adults. Oh my goodness, each one of the bunks can hold up to 400 pounds. But my grandkids are getting very grown up, not that they're anything close to 400 pounds, but I didn't want it to be kid bunks. I wanted it to be good for adults that might be staying with us. So I know people might wonder how come it's not in that corner of the room, because there's a window over here, but it literally won't fit over there and still be able to really have a good space to come in the room, open the door properly. So I actually think it's going to be kind of nice to have part of it over the window. The light will still be shining through. It's just a bunk bed. But I don't know, maybe sometimes I like to stretch out on the bottom bunk and just look outside for a while. So.
Now, for a long time I considered, and I just assumed I would actually be building the bunk beds out of, buy raw lumber and make the bunk beds. But after I thought about it, I just don't feel like doing that. But also anything that I would do would be very rustic. I'm not a finish carpenter. I'm a framing house building carpenter, which is kind of, when you talk about finish work, it's kind of a hack. So we bought these online, and they were delivered to us, and they're going to look very much nicer than anything that I can do, and also just a little easier. All I have to do is put it together instead of actually build it.
Yeah. Well, and we honestly got such a good buy on this. It was such a blessing. I got it on sale. I've been looking at them for a while. I'm not sure we could have spent a whole lot less just getting all the lumber.
Right.
Probably some less, but yeah, I'm just grateful Bill can put the whole thing together, because if it was just me, I'd be a little lost. So, all right, let's show you the building of the bunk beds.
Okay. Well, this is a bunk bed that we got from Amazon, and this is the white right here, and notice the price. I was surprised to find these others are more expensive. This is called driftwood. It's $150 more, and then there's also the brown, and they all look good, but the white is the cheapest, and that's the one that we got. And we are not Amazon affiliates, so if you go here and buy this, we're not going to earn any money from this. I just thought that some of you might be curious where we got the bunk bed, and this is it. I will put a link to this in the description below the video. So this is the bunk bed as it was delivered by UPS, and they dropped it off here in my carport. Now, I don't know exactly how much this weighs, but it's probably, I would guess, at least 80 pounds. And I just had surgery 2 weeks ago I had an appendectomy, and it was actually 2 weeks ago tomorrow. And the doctor said that I'm not allowed to lift more than 10 pounds for the next 2 weeks. So there's no way I'm going to try to lift this and carry it in there. So I'm just going to open it up here, take the pieces out one at a time, and take the pieces into the bedroom. A lot easier anyway. Now, here's the instructions. I'm a man. I don't use instructions. But I will this time. There's lots of pieces, all different sizes. I'm going to have to follow these to make sure I get it right. Now, I took my time carrying all of these pieces into the bedroom, just a couple pieces at a time, so that I would avoid or not exceed my 10-pound lifting limit. So it took me a little bit of time to get these in here. Also, this is all the hardware, and I wish they had actually put the different sizes in little plastic Ziploc bags or something like that.
but I didn't realize that they did have them separated. They had each bundle of different sizes wrapped up like this. So once I realized that, I was able to actually separate them into the different sizes so that I will know, or it'll be easier to find the one that I need. So as you can see, there are all kinds of bits and bobs and pieces here, so I'm definitely going to have to be using the instructions. The instructions do not have any written instructions, only these pictures. And it shows you for each one, you know, what size screw to use and that sort of thing, and where they go. So it's pretty detailed instructions. We'll see how it goes. So many of the pieces are actually numbered. You see the numbers here. So this, number 13, and number 14, number 9, number 6. And you can see the numbers here. There's a number 14. There's a number 9. I've got so many parts laying on the floor in the bedroom and I don't really have room in there to do this, so I'm doing it out here in the hallway. Now this is actually pretty complicated, but fortunately the directions are also quite detailed, though you really have to study them for a while to understand what's happening. They do give you the little Allen wrenches that you need and stuff like that. Now, like I said, the instructions are pretty detailed, but you really have to study them. For instance, when you're putting this board in on the picture, it shows the 2 holes there at the top, and there are not any holes at the bottom. So once you get that oriented, then over here, the directions show a little arrow that faces that way, and that's so that these holes will line up with whatever gets screwed onto there. And then of course you're looking at the numbers. This is 14. 14. This is 13. So you just have to study it really carefully to make sure that you have all the boards oriented correctly. Now this comes with this screw. It's got this barrel nut here. That barrel is going to go into the hole like that. Thought that was going to be difficult to get started, but it wasn't. There's this little screwdriver slot right there that tells you when it's straight. So you can get it started pretty quickly, actually. Yep, that one also went right in. All right. So I'm not showing you every step because it's pretty tedious and it's probably going to take me several hours. But when I first started, the instructions were kind of overwhelming and I had to study them for quite a while to figure out what was going on. But now that I know how to read the instructions, I think it's actually going to go much faster than I originally thought. But it's still going to take some time, so I'm not showing you every step. If you're going to get these, you just have to study the instructions like I did. Once you understand them, then it goes together all right. Well, dear one, I got the first floor done. What do you think of the size and how it's going to fit in the room there?
I think it's going to be absolutely fine.
Yep.
It should be plenty of room for that small closet door to open.
This closet door is,
narrow.
there's wood in the way, I can't open it, but it's narrow, it'll only come out about that far.
Yeah, it doesn't even come as far as the window, so that won't be a problem. It looks very sturdy. Have you been pretty impressed so far with the...
Well, I haven't sat on it yet, but yeah, it seems solid.
Good. Well, I think that's going to be pretty awesome having those bunk beds in here.
Yep.
I'm pretty thrilled. Good, good, hon.
Now the instructions say to build the whole second level and then lift it up on top. But that's problematic for me for several reasons. One is that I just don't have the room. And the other is that once I get it in there or get it built, for me to lift it up here by myself and put it on would be a little difficult. So I'm just going to build it in place instead. So there's a hole here and a hole in the bottom here, and there's this metal rod you put down in there and it slides onto the metal rod. So that rod that's in here will keep it from sliding off, and then you take this board here and that screws right on there and that keeps it from lifting up. I think that's going to be pretty strong once it's finished. Well, that went easier than I expected. That's That's good. That went pretty fast. Now I can just tighten it up. The placement of these holes is pre-drilled. Make sure I get it right where it goes. This is kind of cool because this locks in right here, and then it locks in down here, and then these straps keep all the boards spaced correctly so they don't slide around. That's a pretty cool little system. Okay, so these slats actually screw into place as well, but these straps ensure proper spacing as you're screwing them in. Well, dear, what do you think of the bed?
Oh, I love it. I'm very, very happy with it.
Yeah.
Come over closer and cuddle. No, it's sturdy and it looks wonderful, and I think it's going to be really, really a good place for us to have guests, especially grandkids.
Yeah. Now I want to talk about these mattresses a little bit. Where we got these, I've had these for quite a while. I used to throw them in the back of a van on the floor to sleep and stuff like that. When I was a truck driver, we had a sleeper cab back behind the driver's seat, and these came out of the sleeper cab of a truck. At the terminal where they parked all the trucks, there was a whole row of smashed trucks. They were all totaled, and they were about to be hauled away to the dump. And so I went into a couple of them and pried the door open and worked my way through all the broken glass and pulled two of these mattresses out of the backs.
Because the mattresses were fine. They were just going to be thrown away.
Yeah, it was the front that was all crumpled.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's where I got them, and like I said, I've had them for years, and I always put them when we're camping or traveling in a van or something. I'll put them on the floor. So we put them here. So this one actually works fine. This one, for some reason, is about 2 or 3 inches longer than standard, and I don't know why. So it's kind of bunched up here. So we're probably going to end up replacing this one.
Yeah, just get a twin mattress.
I mean, it works for now, but it's kind of funny with this here. So,
and we can still always use it for extra company or sometime when we need a mattress.
Right, I can always throw it on the floor for to sleep another person. So.
Yep. But yeah, this down here, it's got, these mattresses from Trucks are really wonderful dense foam. They're really comfortable. And down here we actually added a little bit of memory foam on top, so that is going to be a nice bed.
Right.
And like I said, these can hold adults. And I think it's going to be quite comfortable. And I still get plenty of light from my window. I'll show you that in just a second. It's plenty of light coming in from the window that's down here by the end of it.
Now, something else that we wanted to address, because we know that if we don't, we're going to hear questions about it. This is designed with another, like this,
Yes.
another one of these boards that goes right here.
Yeah, across the front.
And I elected to leave it off. We still have it. I can add it at any time. But I spent many years sleeping in bunks in Army barracks, and the top bunk never had a railing here. And sleeping in bunks in, like on the Appalachian Trail, in shelters that were built out in the woods, they never had a top railing.
Well,
You just don't need it. How often do you ever fall out of a bed? I've never heard of it really happening.
when I was in college, we had real tall bunk beds in the dorm room, and I slept on the top, and it never had a railing in the front.
Right. So
And I certainly never rolled off.
I just don't think it's necessary, and to me, it feels restrictive to lay up there and be all completely boxed in like that.
He also,
Go ahead. Now, like I said, I still have it, and if we have some kids up here, it
Yes.
would only take me a couple minutes to take these screws out and add that railing.
Yeah, we have it, and it can be put in very quickly if we ever have any concerns about somebody in the top bunk.
Right.
Bill also pointed out it's going to make it an awful lot easier to make the bed. So that's true too.
Right.
I don't happen to have the bedding on there yet, but it's kind of similar to what I have down here, which can also be pink if I decide to. It's kind of a nice salmon-y, nice pink. So there
And
we
this
go.
is designed with a ladder here on the end, so you climb into the bunk up here like this from the end, and it works
Yeah.
just fine.
Yeah, it actually has little boards going across that are screwed in really well,
Yeah.
and it makes a nice ladder climbing up.
So I think we're pretty much all set, dear, now
Yeah.
to have family here, because we got the main bedroom, and then we got my office, which has a
Queen size.
queen in it, and then we have her office, which has the bunks in it for grandkids.
Or even if I had a bunch of adults, these are comfortable for, well, our grandson's pretty grown up now too.
Yeah,
So,
he's taller than I am, so
he's 19.
So I think we're pretty much all set for company and for family when they come down, which was one of our first goals, to be able to have places for them all to sleep.
Yep. And I'll get the bedding on the top one once we have a permanent mattress there.
Right.
So, cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
You're a good putter together.
Yeah. You know, this was tedious to put together. It took me several hours, but like I said at the beginning, if I had built this out of, from scratch myself, it would have been a lot more involved, and then I would have been involved in staining and polyurethaning and all that stuff too. So I'm very happy. This looks very nice. It's very solid. I'm very happy with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is built rock solid. So that's why each bed can hold 400 pounds if necessary.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So there you go.
Alrighty.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, live simple.
Live free. You be blessed.
All right, we love you guys, and of course, we will see you very soon.
All right.
Bye-bye. I think that'll be fine, huh?
Works for me.